It's Friday, and I want to know what's on your mind. This is a show about real people, real issues, having a real conversation every Friday. With that said, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, Sheila. My name is Deidre Gary. I am from San Diego, California. I just moved back here from New York, been in New York City for 24 plus years. I am an independent contractor working in production and content marketing, and that's it. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and thanks for being here. So we're going to jump right into the question for the day.
Okay.
One other question. All right, this is a good one. Do you think that hiring a diversity officer for a company signals that the company is inclusive, or do you think it's a false gesture?
I think it's a combination. I think it is a false gesture, only because and it's funny that we're having this conversation. I worked in HR before, and when working in HR, you know, when they talk about diversity, they're saying, okay, we're letting people know that we're inclusive, we're including, and we're hiring people of color. Okay, well, that all sounds fabulous, but
doesn't it?
Sounds great. Thank you, but. You have to think you've got two different levels in corporate America. You have your executive level, and then you have your entry level positions, which includes managers.
Yeah.
Executives a little different. That's when you start getting into vice president, executive vice president, senior president, those kind of, but entry level and then executive level. So if you go to a lot of companies, you will see that in their entry level positions, what they do is they try to sprinkle enough of us in those areas. And then when they try to put us in what they consider high places, they'll try to strategically place us in places like manager or director. But then when you jump to the executive level side of things, you don't see us at all.
Yes, exactly.
Or you may see one of us.
It's always one.
It's always one.
And it's always a female and very...
always a woman.
You don't see the men. You don't see the men. Which is quite disappointing.
It is disappointing. You see them in music, but you don't see them in other areas of corporate America. You very rarely see them. But I think that it's a cover up. I think it's something that allows a company to try to play it safe when they know they haven't been doing the right thing for a long time. So if they're trying to really, be supportive and stand behind people of color, then this is something, I think is BS at the end of the day, because really you got, even with your people, the employees you have now, how long have they been there? Have they been moved up? I mean, I'm in a Marco Polo group on my phone. And one of the girls, and this is for people, most of them live in the Bay Area, perfect example. This girl works in healthcare, and she said she got a promotion without the pay.
What? So it was just a lateral move.
I didn't ask her about it, but in my head, and even just from the experience I have working, and I think I worked in HR for like 4 years, and I learned a lot. Now, when it comes to getting a promotion with no pay, that sounds to me like they gave that to you so that you could find another job to leave that department.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Because if they wanted to keep you there, then that would have been, your salary would have been increased. But I don't think that was the case. Right. But that leads to me to say, in terms of when they use the word diversity and inclusion and, all of that, like, let's be inclusive. Like,
what is that? Yeah, it's like,
what does that mean? It means we like you too. No, it means we like you too. Like, we really, really like you, and we want you to be a part of us. Like, okay, but I don't need you to diversify. I mean, isn't that a given? Every person in the world who's smart is not all white. Every person in the world is you can't say they're white or Asian or or Latino or anything like that.
Right.
And every dumb person in the world is not black.
Okay.
How about that?
Exactly.
So let's get that clear. So
really clear.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
I think it's super duper. I think it's BS. I'm a call foul on the play. That's to me, I think it's BS. I think it's a cover up to bring. Mm-hmm. That's why when they start hiring Black people to be, I'm the vice president of diversity and inclusion, and I'm like, well, what the hell does that mean?
Right. And I agree. I totally agree, because if a company has to me, my opinion, if they even have to venture and to get someone like that to be a part of your company, mm-hmm. That means the mentality of the structure of the company was never thought of you.
No,
they never thought of you. They're only being pressured to now think of you. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel about it. I just think I really think it's just a gesture of trying to save face, and
it's a cover up. It's to cover your ass. Cover your ass.
Yeah,
that's all they're doing is covering their asses when they do that.
And in today's time, it's really, especially we were just talking about the entertainment industry. Mm-hmm. Prime example in every area of the entertainment industry, to the smallest little job to the executive job, is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's gotten to the point now where you're like, all right, there's not. They've even went as far as taking our music away from us. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I remember working in the industry that there was a Latin division, there is a Black music division, mm-hmm. there's a classical music division. Do you know what I mean? There's world music division.
Yeah.
There's all these different divisions. But for some reason, when it came to Black music, mm-hmm. you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Black music was so not only just popular, but it definitely created a space for the masses to benefit from it through their marketing ventures with advertising companies and things. So it was hip hop and R&B. You see every 5 commercials you may come across on television will be either hip hop and R&B influence. Mm-hmm. Every commercial. And so when they started seeing how we started to make that kind of uproar, then it became, and then when they started seeing artists who were being signed, like I remember when I was at a label, and there was a group that they thought weren't, their first album was just okay, but then when that second album came out, it was like, woo, mm-hmm. everybody wanted to jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to be a part of the hype. They wanted to be a part of everything. And then it was just like, and then I started slowly seeing how Black music started to go away. And then then white people started coming in and saying, hey, we're going to put Black music in the pop genre now. And it's like, why would you do that? That's not
right. Pivoting off of what we were just talking about. Mm-hmm. Would you quit a job if your values did not match the employer's? If no, what difference of values would cause you to quit? If yes, what would it be?
I think we've all been guilty of staying in companies that we've seen some foul play happen.
Yeah, I would say.
I think it's all a matter of whether or not it's a matter of what your circumstances look like. Meaning that if you're married and got a family of 5, and you don't really feel good about what's happening at your job, but you have to stay there. You may give yourself a certain amount of time to stay there until you leave. Mm-hmm. But if I was in a situation where I'm in a cushy situation where me and my husband work, and if I don't have to really work, my husband is the breadwinner and I don't have to work. Mm-hmm. This is just something for me to do. If it's something for me to do and I was in that situation, I would probably walk away a lot with children. But I also understand the dynamics of when they have their families and mouths to feed. That there's a different way of looking at it.
Right. And you touched on it real well. It's like, depending on the situation, sometimes you just have to stay within that company in order to make that move, because you have other responsibilities, that's out of your control. so to speak. You know,
Okay.
what kind of feedback helps you to improve?
I like direct feedback.
Yeah,
I'm a super direct person myself, so I prefer people who don't beat around the bush.
yeah,
I
exactly.
hate people who blow smoke, who be like this. You know what I mean? Bad day today, or I know that this didn't quite work out, but you got to look at things differently. Don't get hard on yourself. Self-preservation, Deidre. Remember that first.
Right, exactly.
Then you can be good for this. You know what I mean? I always
Yeah,
believe that be good to you before you can be good to anybody else. Because if you ain't
yes,
good to yourself, you're not really going to serve anybody else any
exactly,
purpose at all. So,
exactly.
yeah.
I definitely agree with what you say, because for me, is at the end of the day, time, as they say, what time is what? Money.
Money.
And
Mm-hmm.
time you don't get back. So
No, you don't.
yeah, I'm all about, let's, make it as direct as possible so we can move on to whatever else we need to move on. So
Yeah,
yeah,
value my time, value my money. You know
yes,
what I mean? And
yes,
value and respect my work ethic and how I work and how I do what I do.
absolutely,
Those
absolutely,
are important things.
yeah.
John Lewis's funeral, and
It was great.
I didn't get a chance to see it. I'm gonna catch it because I didn't get a chance to see it. I heard it
Oh,
was
you gotta
amazing.
see it. It was very to me. It was very powerful, very moving, and just an incredible man. Unfortunately, just you know, we all must go, but damn,
Yeah.
damn, we could definitely have used him a little while longer here.
Oh God, we needed him. We needed
Yes,
him.
yeah,
We still do, and hopefully, I don't know. I don't know what to say what's going to happen between now and November. You
right,
know, I try not to I'm not a huge television watcher, so you would never
hmm
see me following 45. I don't follow him. I try to stay away from the
yeah,
things he says and does because I feel that we're already in this mess already. So I always feel like when there's a shit show, there's no need. I don't like to watch shit shows. I just know that it exists.
right,
So
right,
hopefully we can change that dynamic, but it's going to be hard because this is a really tough time right now. We're in really some perilous times right now, and we don't know what's going to happen between now and the end of the year,
yeah, yeah.
even with people with work, you know what I mean? And I don't know. It's
I
just
know.
nuts right
Any
now.
words of encouragement that you would like to share with our audience? Anything that you want to, provide encouragement about? Anything?
Um, I would just like to say, I had a girlfriend who reached out to me and
Mhm.
she was, we catch up every now and again. And she was just like, oh, I just can't handle what's going on. And, she was just all build up about what's happening in the world. And
Yeah,
so the thing that I said to her was, you don't control what's happening right now.
yeah,
And so what people need to exercise is surrendering. We need to surrender, not give up,
yeah.
but surrender to things that you can't control. We are God in the universe has us in this space for a reason. And we're in this space because of something bigger. And so I always feel like, you know what? Do the best you can with what's happening right now. And that you're going to have to adjust. It's not the end of the world. You're a little inconvenienced. So what? Get over yourself. Do your part. Do your due diligence so that we can move on and have our lives on some sense of normalcy.
Right.
So I would say, just don't get caught up in your head. You're not, and another thing is, you know what? You're not the only person who's going through this.
Yes.
We are all
All
going
going
through
through
this.
this. I mean, it is just fathoms when I say it. The whole planet of
The whole
people,
world
the
is
whole
going through this.
is going through this whole thing.
Not just you.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I know, right?
Not just you.
Exactly.
Unless we're in Jupiter, I don't know. But just we're
Yeah.
on the same planet, so we're all going through it. So try to, like I said, I take it a day at a time every day,
Okay.
and try to be good. Try to be a better me as much as possible, and be strategic about what you do.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And where can people find you on social media?
I'm on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm on Delight, D, 4 E's, Lyte.
Awesome.
And then I'm on Facebook too, under Deidre Gary, Diedre. Last name's Gary, Gary. And that's it.
Okay.
I don't have any, I don't have a website.
That's
I
okay.
don't have a fans only page.
Right. Well, hey.
On Instagram, I don't have a fans only,
But those are your websites, the Facebook,
Mhm.
the Instagram, those are
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
well, hey, listen, we thank you. It's been an awesome, fantastic conversation to meet you, to talk to you, and we appreciate you being a part of the show.
likewise, thank you so much. I had a blast.